Now, from there, let's take a look at slide 8. This is going to tell us a little bit about what it means to love Yahweh. That means go home and have a great emotion and tell yourself over and over again, I care, I really care, I really care, I really care. No, there's action to this. James tells us that faith without works is dead. What does he mean? Well, look, here's what it says in Mark, right? And you shall love it, Yahweh Eloheka, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And then in John, the Besarah Yahukanan, chapter 14, verse 15, it says, if ye love me, guard at my commandments. And in Yahukanan Rishon, or 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3, it reads, for this is the love of Yah, that we guard at his commandments. Okay, so here you have Mashiach saying, if you love me, guard my commandments. And here you have John saying, if you love Yah, guard his commandments. So it's very clear that a true statement of love for the Father is to guard his commandments. Okay? All right, next slide. Here we have the scripture in Matthew, which I just spoke to you, right? All power is given unto me in heaven and earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, immersing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Ruach HaKodesh, teaching them to guard at all the things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. So here what you see is Mashiach is telling us that when you guard the commandments and you guard what he has asked you to guard, he is with you even unto the end of the age, even unto the great deception, even unto the great tribulation, even through the persecution and all the temptation and everything else. He is with you, guarding you and standing beside you through each and every aspect of all of it. Okay. Okay, you ready for a little bit of inflammatory rhetoric? We're going to take a look here at the Hebrew short script for the Ten Commandments here in slide 10. Now, you can look at this. There are some errors in this particular graphic. I didn't develop this graphic. There are a couple of errors in this graphic. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about what we see here, okay? So the tablet on the right is the first 5 commandments, all right? The tablet on the right, and of course, these are abbreviations for the first 5 commandments. But this first commandment, you see the tetragrammaton there, right? The Yod He Vav He. But what's that first word right there? You see it? The Aleph Nun Kof Yod. You read in some of the Masoretic writing, they say, oh, that's Anoki, because they want to add a Vav between the Nun and the Kof. They want to add a Vav there. You say Anoki. Now this Anki is the root word for the word Ani, which means I am, right? Ani. And so they say, well, this is the root word, Anki, which is the root word. But if you go back and you look at Zechariah Sitchin's stuff, Zechariah Sitchin says, oh, well, Anki was the one who created the earth. And Yahweh was the bad guy who created mankind and is really mad at Anki, and he's a bad guy, and blah, 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 blah. But Scripture tells us right here in the first commandment, Anki is Yahweh Elohim. Okay? There's no distinction. Don't sit here and try to create Anki with a distorted Sumerian text because Sumerian allows the flexibility in its semantics to wrench that out of it. The fact of the matter is that when we look at this right here, we see this Aleph Nun Kof Yod, and this is giving us a description that we're talking about the same person. There's no divergence in these names. Don't try to sit here and tell me that Enki was the good guy and Yahweh was the bad guy, because it's identified as the same person in the very first commandment right there. I didn't write this. This is what appears in the Hebrew text. You can look it up in any Textus Preceptus you want. That's what you're going to find, which has been construed to mean I am Yahweh. That's the first premise, okay? Lo vehaya, no else. Lo tasa lek pesel, no making carved images, right? Zakar et yom, guard the day, which means guard the Sabbath, of course. Chabad et avin, and of course, then it would also say ve'imim, honor the father and the mother. Honor the father and the mother. Okay, so first 5 commandments. Next slide. Next slide takes us to the left tablet, which says lo tratzach, no killing. Lo t'naf, no breaking wedlock. Lo t'ganab, no thieving. Lo t'ana, no false witness. And lo t'chamad, no coveting. No coveting. So that's kind of the basic simplicity of the 10 Commandments. But I got to tell you, these 10 Commandments were given to us as a covenant. They were given to us as a covenant. Now, I have taught on these 10 Commandments, I don't know, for 15 years now, about how these commandments are the foundation of human rights, particularly this left-hand tablet. Because the left-hand tablet says, how do you get a right to life? Because Yah said, thou shalt not kill. How do you get a right to your marriage? Because Yah said, thou shalt not break wedlock. How do you get a right to your stuff? Because Yah said, no thieving. I mean, you have it right here. You have it right here. This is the roster of your human rights. And this is why somebody like Judge Roy Moore and others have said, let's put up the 10 Commandments in the town square. Because when you take down the 10 Commandments, what comes up are the 7 Noahide Laws. And the 7 Noahide Laws will declare you to be an idolater and a blasphemer subject to decapitation. Just think about that the next time you allow somebody to take down your 10 Commandments. The covenant between the house of Yasharel and Yahweh.